Big
Hey y'all,
Bad
my name is
John.
John Mitchell. I'm a certified financial coach. The purpose of this video and this channel is to teach you how to master the personal finance basics. In today's video, we're going to be discussing how much dividend income my $55,000 portfolio made for the month of May. I am currently an active duty soldier in the United States Army, and one thing I've struggled with while being in the service is finding ways to create passive income. And that's what led me to learning about dividend stocks. Whether I'm conducting late night inventories or I'm out training in the field, dividend stocks will pay me a little bit of passive income no matter where I am. With all that being said, let's jump into this month's portfolio update. All right, I'm going to orient you to my sheet and then we'll go ahead and jump into the numbers from there. So first here we have my portfolio overview sheet. I have my taxable account on top with dividends taken out after taxes. Then we have my Roth IRA, and then after that, my Kids Uniform Gift to Minors Act or Transfer to Minors Act. After that, we have our dividend growth tab to track our dividend growth year over year. We have an income tab that tracks our monthly income. We have a data sheet that gives me an estimate of how much income I'll be making for the next, I think I did like 50 years in this sheet to see how my dividends compound. And then last but not least, I have the same thing, but for my kid. Jumping back to our overview sheet, like I said earlier, you can see our taxable account on top. I'll review our headings and then we'll jump on in from there. So, of course, I have some of the basic stuff like ticker, today's price, the current value, the percentage of my account that stock represents, quantity of shares, average cost basis, dividend per share, yield cost basis, and then yield, income year to date for April of 26 to 27, and then a year to date income from now until May 27, and then income year to date so far. So let's jump into what we have. So Allstate, we went and sold them. If you haven't been with us for a while, they don't have a increasing dividend yield. They have paid a flat yield for many, many years. I bought them under their par value. They have this weird bond quality, and I decided that it's just, I don't know why I got them in the first place. Other than that, their yield was good. I don't know what I had planned long term with them, so I decided to sell them and move on to that. AMH was a newer pickup, and they're just doing what they're doing. BTCI, new pickup. So if you haven't seen some of my shorts out there, I've been talking about NEOS funds over the last few months. I'm very intrigued by NEOS funds. I listen to the Rich Habits podcast, and they feature NEOS funds. They might be even sponsored by, or maybe not sponsored. Either way, they feature NEOS funds. So I've done a lot of listening to them lately, and I'm very intrigued. Bitcoin, the BTCI specifically, super high risk, especially with the volatility of Bitcoin. So I recognize this isn't necessarily a good dividend grower necessarily, and by that I mean it'll pay monthly, which is great. That's what the NEOS funds do, is they pay monthly, but it's not going to necessarily pay the same amount every month. So really, what I wanted to accomplish was try out some of the volatility of this Bitcoin ETF. Because I want to see what happens. I really do. As you can see, I only have 3%, just over 3% of my portfolio in this, or my taxable portfolio in this. So I just want to track it and see what I can learn more about it. Moving on, Canadian Imperial Bank decreased their dividend for the upcoming quarter to 0.7756. It was previously like 0.78 something. But our cost basis yield for that is still over 7%, which is really good. The yield year to date, the yield currently for that is 2.85%. We sold CubeSmart. I think that's a new one. Sold them because they weren't up to snuff. So moved on from them. FR is still there. Sold them recently. MPLX, I continue to love them. They're a fuel or oil stock or company. They pay distributions, which are, or returns of capital, which aren't taxed regularly. So that's why I like to keep them here. We have Realty Income Corp, monthly dividend payer, PLD, QSR, Canadian companies that own many popular chains out there, SCHD, SPYI, and VC Properties. Again, SPYI is also a new pickup. Kind of same reasons as Bitcoin, but I view it as a little more conservative relative to the BTCI, just because it deals in the S&P 500. Our total portfolio value is just over $28,000 in the taxable account, with a 5.487% yield. And again, that bumped up because of BTCI and SPYI mainly, with a yield, if you bought everything today, of 4.372%, with an income year to date expected of $1,579. Again, Bitcoin really boosted that one for this, so I understand. This is a huge increase for a portfolio like mine, so I understand where that came from. And then we'll get into year-to-date dividends later. Jumping down to the Roth IRA, nothing notable to really talk about here other than Lowe's increased their dividend by 5 cents. So we'll kind of give them a hand clap more in the next phase. But yeah, that's great stuff. We'd love to see a dividend increase. For the Roth IRA, my total portfolio value here is $27,000, just under $500, with our cost basis yield of 3.471% and a yield if you bought everything today of 3.321%. Year to date, or a year from now, we should expect to receive $857.10 in dividends, and again, we'll cover actual in a minute. Total portfolio value for the wife and I is just shy of $56,000, with a weighted yield of 4.495%, with a yield or cost basis yield, and a yield if you bought everything today of 3.855%. With estimated dividends year to date for April of just under $2,000. And again, a year from now, we should expect to receive just over $2,400 in dividends. And like I said, we'll get to year to date dividends in a minute. For my kids' account, Uniform Gift to Minors Act, again, same, he has the Canadian Imperial Bank, so he saw the same decrease I did. And again, that's reflected there as well. His total portfolio value is $22.80 current value. His cost basis yield is 2.869 or 96%, with a yield, if you bought everything today, of 2.689%. And he expects to receive $72.68 a year from today. And yeah, like I said, we'll get to dividends in a minute. Moving on to our dividend growth sheet. So here I have all our companies on the left-hand side with their tickers. And then I wanted to start tracking their growth. Eventually, I'll try to work this a little bit further back so we can have like a 1, 3, 5, 10-year yield thing. But right now, this is what I have working at the moment. Big change. Yeah, BTCI, you can see here that in December, they paid 43 cents just over per share. And for May, they paid 35 cents. So again, tracking it's volatile. I think the best way to analyze BTCI, and this is the same for SPYI, would be to do it on an annualized basis to really see. Many of the other stocks I just did many of them pay the same dividend every month or every quarter for a year, and then they'll increase from there. So I just did it on kind of the monthly payout basis or really quarterly payout basis, and it works for them. But I think the best way to track BTCI and SPYI would really be to see what their annual yields are and see if we can see an increase there. I think that'll be a better, more accurate way to check them out. Again, the only other increase we saw was Lowe's with a dividend increase there. So actually that bumps up their percent growth to 8.7%, which is a whole lot better than what they originally had. So great to see some growth there. Actually, maybe we'll hold on to Lowe's a little bit longer. Like and subscribe to this video as it helps me see what content you all like and want to see in the future. Jumping over to my favorite sheet, which is our monthly dividend tracker sheet. We can see we have the month of May here in column G. So again, for payouts, we got $16 this month from Bitcoin. Again, they're a monthly dividend pair, so we'll probably see something again from them in the future. MPLX here, $51, whopping paycheck. If you haven't paid attention, I've put in money into them over the last few months. So that's why there's such a big increase in that. Almost buying a share a quarter, which is pretty cool. Really growing that position, and I've liked it a lot. Realty Income Core, again, we jumped up to $10, almost $11. Again, been putting money into that in the month of April, so that's why that's jumped up. We also saw SPYI, again, monthly dividend payer, so that's that there. And then again, we got a little bit of interest there. So total dividends or distributions received for the month of May in the taxable account was $90.45. Again, this is after taxes for your reference. Year to date, we have received $440.41 in the taxable account. Jumping down to the Roth IRA for the month of May, FBIZ paid out a little off cycle for them since they tend to be a third month of the quarter payer, but they paid out in the second month this quarter for whatever reason. So that just kind of is what it is. Jumping down to Lowe's, they paid out a nice little thing. Not a crazy bump, of course, from the last time, but again, I'm just reinvesting the Lowe's. I didn't put in much additional capital into them the last few months. NXST, Again, another big paycheck there, which is great. And then we got a little interest as well. So in our Roth IRA, our total number of dividends received for this month was $49.94. Our total dividends received for the month for all accounts was $140.09. Almost forgot. Total dividends received year to date for my Roth IRA are $346.18. For the whole year so far, we've received $786.59. Last but not least, jumping down to the kiddo, his dividend he got from Realty Income Corps with $2.42, and then he got some interest of 61 cents. So he received just over $3 for this month in dividends, and then year to date he's received just over $20, in addition to the about $35.10 that my wife and I contribute to his account every single week. Last but not least, jumping over to the data sheet, we can see here that for the 2025, just to kind of catch you up, our yield at the end of the year was 4.18%, with a monthly dividend average over 12 months of $97.27. Annualized ended up being just shy of $1,200, which would be $100 a month. And the growth rate, oh, we'll get to that in a sec. For 2026 so far, this is our current account value as of today, with a yield of 4.495%. Again, grew a lot. If you saw last time, this growth number was a lot less, and you have to bear in mind we bought some BTCI and SPYI. Oh, and then I had to adjust some percentages as well, so that's why that has increased. So I've had to fix an error from last time again. Our monthly average is $157.32. Love that. That's a big increase over last year. Again, this is me continue to put more money into here as it comes our way, because that's what you do. If you have extra money, you invest it. That's what you should be doing, not spending it on silly things. Annualized, we should expect to receive somewhere in the ballpark of $1,887.82. And again, this where's my, there we go. This 7.1%, it's just a guesstimate based on this number. Again, this could still change by the end of the year. And what this number here, this dividend growth, represents the growth of my dividends from 2025 to 2026. And then that will help me accurately figure out what my growth rate might be in the future, so that I can get a more accurate picture of how much dividends I'll make into the future on a monthly basis. And if we scroll down, if you've been on the show before, my big thing is I'm trying to hit about that $10,000 a month mark on average, of course, is what I'm shooting for. That would cover more than my expenses today and give me a little extra on top to continue investing into my portfolio. If we look at our sheet here, we can see that in about 25 to 26 years, we should cross that mark with reinvesting all of our dividends. I hope y'all got something out of today's video. What I wanted to show you here was that through investing a little bit every month, you can see that your dividends will increase every month, and you can receive a bunch of little mini paychecks no matter where it is, what you're doing, where you're traveling, or how your work limits you. If you're looking for a financial coach to help you better understand how to make more passive income in your life, sign up for a free appointment today with a link in the description or in the comment section down below. I love each and every one of you, and I'll see y'all in the next video.